What is happening, people? Welcome back to Gooner Down Under TV. And we're here. Transfer window's open. It's good to just not talk about Arsenal results for a second, because as soon as even I just bring that up, I'm re-triggered again. Starting to think about Liverpool, West Ham, Fulham. Let's the less said the better. The less said the better at this point. We're in the transfer window. We all want a striker. Personally, I also would like a really good box-to-box centre mid. I think that would transform us a lot, especially maybe against low block teams as well. But I'm very happy with a striker. However, classic Arsenal, we don't really get linked to what we want. So we are linked to Onana. Not saying I don't want him. I'm going to get into some pros, some cons, break down how he looks in the team, all of that. It just doesn't make that much sense for this season. We are still thereabouts in the title race. We are only 5 points behind. We play Liverpool in a couple of weeks. If we beat them, we're right back into it. That's the thing about football. A couple of weeks can break you, but they can also make you. Bars, I don't know if maybe for a rap career or something. But a couple of weeks can really change the outlook on a season. We saw it. We were top of the league just a few weeks ago. Now we're fourth. Few things go wrong for other teams. If we can just pick up something, we can be right back in it. And I don't think we should be throwing away this season now. And I sort of think Onana does that. He doesn't necessarily fix the holes that we currently have. And he's also not world class or top level where he can come in, doesn't matter what position, and elevate us to a whole nother level. I do like Onana. There's a lot of things in his game that I do like, and I think long term, him and Declan Rice can be a pretty dominant midfield together. In terms of just being overbearing, dominating every team, pace, power. Being on top of them, not letting them have a chance to be on the ball at all. I think that's really good. But this season, we know what we need. We know what we need. Get a striker, maybe get a midfielder on loan, and someone who can play left back, because Zinchenko's sort of injured all the time. Even when he's playing, he hasn't been that good. But we're linked to him instead. Before I get into it, let me know your thoughts. What do you think of Onana? Do you think we should sign him? Do you think it's a waste of money? It's rumored to be about 50, 60 million even, I've seen some sources. And to me, one, I don't know how we've gotten this money. The more I think about it, the more I think it's one of those ones where every window we have someone who we're targeted to for so long that we're never going to get, and it was maybe just random clickbait. Could that be it? I think it could be. I really don't see how we're going to spend 50, 60 million when we had to get Raya in on loan for FFP reasons. Unless Everton are willing to do some random crazy deal with us, which I don't see them doing. Yes, they've been having a lot of money problems. I saw somewhere they just got a lot more money from their owner. Is that right? So I don't know if they're desperate to sell, and I don't think they would be willing to sell probably their best young asset for some weird, crazy deal. So that's one. Two, I don't even know if we have the money. It's probably one of those Mudrich clickbaity things. So should I even be making this video? I don't know. It's intriguing, so I'm already here. But Onana, let's talk about him. He's what, 6'5", 6'6", big guy. He's fast, he's athletic, he's physical, and he's pretty decent with his feet. He's pretty decent. The things I'm concerned about, if he's playing lone six and Declan Rice is maybe told to bomb up a lot more, I don't know if he's good enough, especially right now. He is young, if he's good enough to hold the fort as a lone six. Tackles, he's very good. He's able to, really clatter into people, and he's very physical. But his IQ, his positioning from, little times I've seen Everton play, but he's not always in the right spot. And I think especially when you're in a team that wants to challenge for the title, I think everyone needs to be locked in. Don't know if he's there yet. On the ball, seems decent, does pass back quite a lot, which is fine. That's pretty normal when you're pressed to just pass to the open person. But I don't know if he's necessarily going to be able to do what Partey did last season, where even in tight spaces, never loses it, beats his player, looks forward. What's the best pass? Onana has potential to do that. I've seen some of his games. Of course, been watching some of his highlights because of the rumours. He does have a knack to make some really good passes. Doesn't do it a lot. Some of that is Everton just don't play in a very dominant... Don't play in a very dominant? They're just not a very dominant team. So, they're not always on the front foot, playing in space, being dynamic. So some of that is him having to be rigid. But even then, he does make some really good passes. He does drive the ball pretty well. Don't know if it's necessarily the level we want or we need, but he's pretty good, and he has the sort of characteristics to be maybe not elite, but just under that, whatever you want to call that, right up there. He's big. He's got the genetic factors, whatever you want to say. He's got the athleticism. He's got the P and P. He can really, really get there. And he does have the attributes, in terms of his IQ, his footwork, his passing. They're all there. They're just not exactly where we want him to be for a title run right now. Down the line, that's why I'm saying him and Rice together. If Rice even develops a little bit more as an 8, can maybe improve on that final third, maybe putting in some better crosses, driving, putting in some better late balls into the box or something, even just going on a bit of a solo run, launching it from outside the box, grabbing a couple goals from there. Some dynamic, I think that would really help us. In terms of where it leaves us this season, this is why I think it's sort of throwing away this season. Like I said, we are in the mix still. A couple weeks can change it. I don't want to think about the games because I'm going to probably go on a 40-minute pissed off rant. So we're going to avoid that. But it sort of doesn't look that great. Onana comes in. He's probably not going to settle in right away. It's a very different system. Everton, Arsenal play completely different. Whether he's going to come into this starting lineup, I don't know. As well, it leaves us very light up front. Jesus, I've seen a small injury, but I've seen that every single time he ends up going for surgery. So I assume he's probably going to be out for a while. Leaves us with Nketiah and Havertz, Trossard up top. If Trossard was, in form, I'd be more than happy to play him up front. Last season when Trossard was there, he was looking dynamic, was looking good. This season, I don't know what is it. He just seems off the pace, maybe disinterested, slow. I'm not too sure. Maybe, he was firing pre-season. Arteta drops him. He can just never get his form back. Regardless, he's not really looking it. Nketiah, we all know Nketiah. He's not the best player. I think he could be used better in a different team that creates more, that has, better use of a poaching striker. We don't play towards Nketiah's strength anyway. So, and Havertz, he's going to miss a lot of chances. Not the most clinical. Does help with build-up, but yeah, we're not really going to win a league with Nketiah, Havertz, or even Trossard up top. I think that's the best way to put it. And left back Zinchenko, how many more games can he play? Even when he's playing, he's not that good. Kivior, I don't really want to ever see him left back. To me, I really don't see what he does. He does some little cute, intricate side passes every now and then, every 40 minutes. But defensively, I think he gets pretty, skinned by faster fullbacks. You saw him score an own goal. Not too much to blame. Sometimes these things happen. But defensively, he's not great as a fullback. Attacking-wise, doesn't offer much. I don't want to see him there. And Ben White on the other side, I'm starting to get sick of this experiment. Maybe because I'm, Brazilian, I'm used to seeing more expansive fullbacks bombing up, being dynamic, and that's what I enjoy. But I do want to start seeing that more. I want to start seeing someone at fullback who can create as well, who can maybe open up space for Martinelli and Saka, not just 4 rigid centre backs who aren't really doing anything. So, I think this season, if we sign Onana and that's it, we're throwing away the league. That's how I see it. We know Liverpool, we know City, they're going to go on a crazy run to end the season. It's pretty much what they do, and we not only have to match them, we have to overdo them. Is that possible? Does Onana, change that much for us? I don't think so. I really don't think so. What it does do, though, is it makes us look pretty exciting for the future. So it's still that same midfield, Odegaard, Rice, Onana, but next season, for let's say, he'll have 6 months in this system. This one we'll probably have to throw away anyway. I don't know. My hopes are done, but I'm also very reactionary, so yeah. But 6 months in our system, 6 months more to develop. Can he improve that quickly? I think he can. Like I said, he's had some games where he's looked very amazing. His consistency is sometimes an issue, but, are we going to sort of fall into the Havertz of maybe couple games really good, couple games really dodgy? Or, maybe with the proper guidance, proper coaching, players around him and Declan Rice in a midfield together could really, really cause some trouble. I can't see us being dominated in the midfield against any team really, any team, especially if we play with a higher intensity, more dynamic on the front foot. I think we could really win the ball up high so often. You know, sometimes Rice can stay back, Onana can press up, be a little bit of a havoc up there, then they can switch. The only thing is, if he wins it up, can he play the right pass often enough? He does it in stretches, like I said. He seems like he's got that knack, but can he do it often enough to fire us to the Prem, really? That's the question. Although I think it really can help us as well. Timber coming back, more pace, more power, more dynamic than Zinchenko. A lot more than Kivior. He can really help us overload that midfield and just tear up every single game. And Tomiyasu at right back. You know, I think a little bit more athletic than Ben White. Maybe wants to bomb up a little bit more as well. I would like to see a new right back. Just someone who's a bit different. Maybe like a younger Cancelo type. Frimpong as well would be really exciting. Imagine a back four, Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, Frimpong. I think that would be huge. And it leaves us that striker spot open. I will say, I don't really know who the striking options are available at this point. You know, I see everyone saying Ivan Toney, although I haven't seen any credible links to him. You know, I think it's a lot of us fans getting hyped, hoping it happens, but I haven't really seen it. I don't assume it's going to happen. I don't know why Brentford would really sell at this point as well. They could probably really use him for a bit of a late run, just to ensure they're in the league, get as good of a higher spot as possible. I think that's what they're going to do. Osherman, there's no way that's a January deal. Vlahovic, I've seen say he's not leaving, and Juventus saying he's not for sale. I would have loved Marcos Leonardo. I put that as one of my top 5 strikers I want to replace Gabriel Jesus when he got injured at the start of the season. He was one of them, the more like under the radar ones. And I think he would have been really exciting coming off the bench. You know, someone as well who can just add a little bit different. He can impact the game different ways. He's good like Jesus in his hold-up play. Also, I'm not going to go on too much actually about Leonardo. He's gone. He's gone. Why am I even talking about him? He would have been good, especially long-term. But let's forget that. Boniface, another one we could have been linked to. Injured now. So I don't know if we're going to get a striker. So if it's a matter of fact if we can't get a striker, we can only get a midfielder. I would have preferred a box-to-box 8. Let Rice sit in the 6. I think that's his best attribute. I think Rice at the moment isn't good enough in the final third, creativity-wise, goal-scoring-wise. But if this is a future thing, we're riding off this season, and you let Rice play in the 8, you let him practice a little bit more, have some more game time in the 8, and be like, look, it doesn't matter if we win, lose, whatever. I'd be pissed. But if that's the game plan, and you just want to develop him in that 8, Onana in that 6, build that chemistry for next season, maybe. I'm still very mixed on it. Hopefully then, if we do that, we can maybe bring in an Osherman next season. He has a release clause, not too crazy. Could be in this team and really help, especially if we are playing that more high line, attacking, aggressive football. I think an Osherman would be perfectly suited to that. And Onana, Rice, Odegaard behind, you know, constantly winning the ball back and spraying it forward, I think could be huge. You know, just to save myself, I'm going to stop ranting because I feel like I'm about to start talking about Arsenal's season. It's not the point of this video. I am triggered. I'm annoyed. We're down to 4th. We need to get better. I hate that it's, you know, a little while till our next game. I feel like I just want to get that next one done and start picking up some form again. But we're going to have to sit in this window for a while. Sit in this, you know, banter that we're copping left, right, and center. But it is what it is. If you've made it this far, please make sure to like and subscribe. More importantly, though, take care of yourselves. Hope you're all doing well. And I'll see you in that next video. Peace.